Hi there. So, you are here because you want to explore coding career path. We at Movie Bootcamp will give you some insights on that in this short video. Indeed, learning to code a computer programming language opens up tremendous job opportunities. Well, to be a coder, you have to learn a computer language. There are many computer languages today. So the big question would be, which computer language to learn? Unfortunately, the coding career pathways are not straight paths. It is normal to feel lost. Indeed, there are many pathways and sometimes they also crisscross each other. We strongly recommend to begin the journey with the end in mind. The end, of course, is getting a job. Let us now understand the end game a bit. Most software companies have teams and sub-teams of coders, and each team works on its own subset of programming languages and platforms. So what are platforms, you ask? There are many different ways you can classify, and one way is to classify the software programs into three categories: desktop applications, web applications, and mobile applications. Desktop software programs are the ones that are installed on your computer desktop. And here are some examples: your Adobe Acrobat Reader to open and read PDF files, the different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, IE, etc. to browse the internet. All of these are software programs and they're also called products. And the company which makes them are called product companies. The popular languages that are used to develop products are C, C++, Java, C#, and if the product has a need to store data, then they typically use the file system. But sometimes they also use RDBMS databases like SQLite, MySQL, SQL Server, etc. The next software platform is coding your program as a native mobile application so that it can be installed on a mobile device. Who doesn't know about these anymore? And the popular languages to write native applications are Kotlin and Java for Android, Swift for iOS. And here too, if the application needs to store any data, then most of the time it's either the file system or SQLite database. The last platform is writing a software program to be deployed on the web. These applications are also called web applications. A web app can be invoked using a browser like Google Chrome, IE, Safari, Firefox, etc. This platform has the highest number of job opportunities. Every company who has a website needs people with web app skills. There is no standard set of skills to possess to deploy a web application, however. Every company employs a different set of programming languages to achieve the same end goal of deploying their app on the web. Web applications can be broadly classified as static web applications and dynamic web applications. Static web apps do not allow the user to interact with the web application. This type of applications are no longer popular. In a dynamic web app, users can have a conversation with the web application. So websites like Google and Amazon come under this category. Developing a dynamic web app requires a person to learn a lot of programming languages. From now on, we'll refer to dynamic web applications as simply web apps. Popular open source programming frameworks to build a web application includes JEE, which stands for Java Enterprise Edition, .NET, and recently Node.js. If you choose JEE framework, then you have to learn Java. If you choose .NET, then you begin with C#. And if you choose Node.js, then you have to learn JavaScript. Typically, a web application may also store user data or application data in some kind of a data storage system. Popular storage mechanisms require you to learn sequential query language, also called SQL, although these days NoSQL is also used. NoSQL actually stands for Not Only SQL. The definition of that term we will leave for another day. A typical web application also requires you to learn HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, CSS, which stands for Cascading Style Sheet, and JavaScript. So, to increase your chances of getting a job as a web developer, you have to learn Java or C#, and then SQL, also called as SQL, and then HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. To understand a little deeper on the required skills, let's now take two use cases. Both of them are very popular web applications today. The first one is the Google web application, which allows us to search anything on the web, and the second, Amazon e-commerce website, which allows users to purchase anything from the Amazon web store. On the Google web application, users can search other web pages using keywords. The landing web page itself is very simple. Nothing much going on here other than a text box which is used to get the user input. The search results page is a little complex, but still nothing in comparison to the Amazon website, which we will go to next. Since the web page itself is very simple, where does the challenge lie? Well, the challenges here are how to index and store trillions of documents, how many clients can connect simultaneously, and how to maintain the response time during peak load. In this application, trillions of documents are indexed and stored in data centers, and multiple clients connect to these programs through the internet to retrieve the search results. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript form the foundation to create the web page, and the popular programming languages to build a search engine which runs in a data center are written in Java, Python, and Node.js. Do you know how many search queries are run every single second on Google's web application? Well, the answer is 63,000 search queries per second from people all over the world. And 5.6 billion searches are run by users every single day. The web page, also called as the front end, receives the user's keyword and sends it to the back-end Java programs. So in this use case, it's the back-end which does the heavy lifting. All the 5.6 billion search requests hit the back-end programs, and typically Java, Python, C# programming languages are used to handle this heavy load. So, knowing the basics of Java or Python programming will not prepare you for this kind of backend program. You need to learn advanced concepts covering threads and processes, algorithm design, data structure design, distributed computing, distributed transaction, and your focus will be on performance. Users will not stay on the web page if it takes more than a few seconds to return the search results. And 63,000 people are searching the backend every single second, and every single result should load faster on the results page. So in this use case, the backend programming is the most challenging component. Now, let us take our second use case, the Amazon web application. On this web application, the landing web page is no longer simple. It is filled with rich information on many products that the user can purchase. Now, when you invoke the Amazon website from mobile or desktop, the same landing page is shown in two different ways. This is to have the best experience to the user. A mobile device cannot accommodate all the rich details, but a desktop application can. But note that you're invoking the same website. The URL does not change. So here in this use case, designing a great front end, which is user-friendly across all devices, is also a challenge, along with the backend being capable of handling large concurrent connections. To master this art, you start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is the base. Then you also learn how to use one of the frameworks like Angular, React, Vue, etc. to build a responsive website. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript are at the center of building a responsive website. You have to learn all three. Then you have a choice of learning one of the frameworks. And now finally, to see how Movie Bootcamp can help you. We train students to aim for one of these job roles in web and mobile application platforms. With the advent of social media companies, a new set of roles which are connected with processing users' data to derive insight have evolved. These involve deriving useful insights through visualization and/or machine learning and AI techniques. And the typical job roles here are data analyst, data scientist, or data engineer. Movie Bootcamp offers courses in this segment as well. We hope this video gave you some idea on what to aim for. Thank you for listening and feel free to reach out to us if you need any details.